Before we begin with the video, I just want to say, stay tuned at the very end for a very special announcement. A while ago, John Boyega said something on Instagram that was really interesting, and initially after reading it, I took the post at face value, when in reality, the post could have given us a major reveal for Finn in episode 8, and might also possibly hint at something even bigger. The post said this: "The hardest thing about playing Finn was holding back all the time. Trying to be led by fear rather than strength was a tricky balance to ride without coming across as the pushover. Everyone expected acrobatics and a fully rogue badass character. Boring. Heroes are not born in one movie. Wait for the trilogy. Finn ain't playing no more." The major topic for this video is that John Boyega says trilogy in his Instagram post and not episode 8, which indicates to me that he will most likely be surviving through that film and progress into the events that will likely transpire in episode 9. This is pretty big, but also not fully unexpected. Finn is a very interesting character, and by the post alone, potentially shows us a more hardened version of Finn than the one we received in The Force Awakens. John Boyega has also gone on record and said that episode 8 would be a significantly darker film than the story we received in episode 7, and this fully makes sense. Last we saw Finn, he received a crippling injury on behalf of Kylo, and also witnessed his friend and somewhat mentor be killed by Kylo Ren firsthand. John Boyega also says that unlike before, Finn is no longer motivated by that of fear, and says, quote, "Finn ain't playin' no more." This is also an intriguing thing to discuss. Does this mean Finn will fully commit himself to the Resistance and become a core member, similar to the way we saw Han Solo's character progress from A New Hope to Empire, or does this mean something else entirely? It's also intriguing that he brings up the lack of acrobatics in episode 7, and he could be potentially hinting at having faster paced, more acrobatic scenes in episode 8 involving Finn. This leads me into the biggest potential hint in this video, that Finn very well could undergo some type of training with the Force. Maybe not Jedi training exactly, but some form of training nonetheless. The post also refers to Finn being afraid in episode 7, a feature Maz Kanata said stuck out heavily in him. Maz's scene with Finn in The Force Awakens was a very significant one for the character, and we can clearly see Maz's words echoed through the Instagram post by John Boyega. A while back, a picture was released by episode 8's director Rian Johnson that showcased Lupita Nyong'o in mocap getup on the set of episode 8, filming a scene as Maz Kanata, thus confirming her return to the sequel. Even in the trailer for The Force Awakens, we saw Maz hand Leia the original lightsaber on the Resistance base. Although this was ultimately cut from the film, it does tell us Maz is present on the base, the same base in fact Finn was left on to recover in the end of The Force Awakens. I think this post by John Boyega is telling us a lot more about Finn than most of us originally perceived. As of currently, Maz and Finn are in the same location, and although Maz is no Jedi, she does have some connection to the Force, and I believe she will take on the teacher and mentor role to Finn, similar to how Luke will be to Rey and Snoke to Kylo. A possibility I find highly intriguing is Maz training Finn to better feel the Force and potentially learn to use it in some regard, although maybe not on the level of a Jedi. Finn is a great character, and by the post we still have a great story and good character progression in store for us in episode 8 and beyond. I am glad that this possibly confirms Finn will make it through episode 8. I hope we see Finn either encounter Phasma yet again or Kylo and see how he reacts. It is logical to assume Finn could play out similar to the way Han did in A New Hope to Empire, but the filmmakers could also take it in a different way and give us something unexpected. I cannot wait to see on screen exactly what John Boyega is clearly referencing in his post, as it sounds highly entertaining and exciting. I am also glad they have chosen to take the character in a cool direction. So tell me what you think about the post overall. What role do you think Finn will be playing in episode 8 and beyond? Are you glad the former Stormtrooper will likely survive the events of episode 8, and do you think he could undergo some type of training under Maz? And if so, what do you think it will look like? Thanks for watching, and now let's continue with the announcement. I recently asked on Twitter if you guys would enjoy a podcast all about Star Wars, where we would more casually discuss news and various topics, and you seem to be really intrigued. Because of this, I am glad to announce the return of the Rule of Two podcast, where we will be talking everything Star Wars and also taking questions from subscribers. In order to ask questions for the podcast that will be featured on the show, be sure to follow me on Twitter, as that is where I will be pulling them from. The handle is @StupendousWave, and the link is also in the description. Also, be sure to follow my co-host, whose Twitter link is also in the description. Thank you so much for supporting and watching. May the Force be with you, stay tuned for an upcoming podcast, and have a great day.